What's good, African family? What's good? Welcome back to the African Wahala. We're going to be talking about the recently concluded elections in Edo State of Nigeria. For some strange reason, which really surprised me, I couldn't believe how many people turned out to support APC. That's the current political party that controls Nigeria. I was quite shocked, but I'm going to get into that later. If you like this type of conversation that relates to the politics of Africa, the reasons why we are where we are, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click on the like button, share the content, all that good stuff. So before I begin, I'm going to start with some historical context of Nigeria, of Edo. Now, Edo State was annexed, or rather, let me say, Edo State annexed the Benin Empire. The Great Benin Empire, if you ever heard about the Benin Empire, it existed a long time ago before it was conquered by the British. The Benin Empire was one of the most developed societies in the world. Even when the Europeans eventually, stepped foot in Africa, they had a lot of positive things to say. They were shocked by how developed Benin Empire was. The streets were lit as a way back in the 1500s, 1600s. They had street lights in the Benin Empire. They had the Great Benin Wall, the magnificent Benin Wall. Just do a quick Google search and see how huge it was. According to human history, the Benin Wall was the greatest human constructed structure on the planet, even larger than the Great Wall of China and many other structures. But it was eventually destroyed by the British when they conquered Benin in the late 1800s, and they forced Benin to be a part of their new company, the Royal Niger Company. The Royal Niger Company eventually turned into Nigeria. So the British created Nigeria by annexing different regions, including the Benin Empire, into one state. And that state was created strictly for their own benefit. As a matter of fact, the main reason why the British, French, and the Germans collaborated to create Nigeria and a few other West African countries like Cameroon, Niger Republic, the Benin Republic. The reasons why they collaborated to create those countries was very simple. They had conquered new territories. They were beginning to step on one another's foot because they were fighting to control different conquered lands. And they decided to travel back to Europe in Berlin, Germany, and they had a conference, the popular Berlin Conference. In the conference, they decided that, listen, we are going to partition this new conquered land. You, the Germans, take this piece of land. We, the British, we're going to take this piece of land that includes the Benin Empire, and the French can take the land north of, that line between Nigeria and Niger, also west of the line that separates Nigeria and Benin Republic. So the Europeans collaborated to create Nigeria and many other African countries strictly for their own economic benefit and to the detriment of the Nigerian people. And this is a fact. Fast forward 125 years later, because that happened in 1900, we now have an absolute mess, a contraption that is very detrimental to our health. It's detrimental to our development. We are an absolutely confused people on a perpetual basis. We don't even know what we are doing. I can't even believe people decided to go out there and vote in an electoral system once again that is headed by the same Yakubu, the same Yakubu that brought this mess that everybody is in. They still decided to go out there and vote. Listen, if I was one of the people that had the opportunity to vote, I would have burnt my voter's card and threw it in the garbage because it's completely useless. Yes, it's completely useless. with a Yakubu in charge of INEC, because the conflict of interest is ridiculous. It's like you going to give your baby to a lion and expecting the lion to babysit your baby. Of course, the lion is going to eat your baby up. That's exactly what's going to happen. And that's why if Nigerians decided to go out there and vote in another election that was controlled by Yakubu, it's the same thing, or the analogy is almost parallel, as in you giving your baby to a lion to babysit for you. Now, we're going to go to show you what Benin looks like today. I just gave you a quick historical view of the Benin Empire. Now we're going to look into Benin, or rather Edo. Edo is a wider area that encompasses Benin as well. So this is Edo State. It's now one of the states created by Nigeria for absolutely no reason. The state only delivers poverty, lack of basic amenities. As you can see in the photo, this is a federal road, but the road looks like absolute like mess. Just look at it. This is the environment. You know, an average rainfall somewhere in Edo State, everywhere is flooded because there is no infrastructure. Okay. And this is not an attack on Edo State. It's pretty much the same way across the entire country, right? We have no infrastructure. Even in the cases where we have infrastructure, it's usually not to our benefit. So in this case, just an average day in Edo State, it's raining and the people don't have, you know, they don't have drainage to have the water wash off. This is a school in Edo State, 2024. This is literally a school where children go to learn how to, learn mathematics, sciences, social studies, government. This is a school in 2024, Edo State. And how did we get into this mess? We got to this mess because Nigeria is a system that only allows criminally minded people to get into power, and the criminally minded people will continue looting the resources for themselves and leaving everybody else poor. The system, the dynamics of the Nigerian system is such that the guys that get into power have to be corrupt. If you're not corrupt, you're not going to get into power. If you don't have blood on your hands, if you don't have if you don't have a track record of criminality, there is no way you're going to get into power. That's what Nigeria delivers. Now, once you get into power, you are required to conform to the status quo of the so-called elites. They call themselves elites, the politicians, because they are the wealthiest people in the country. Imagine a country where the wealthiest people are politicians. That in itself is a conflict of interest, right? But that's how Nigeria is. So the wealthy elites, they now have to work compulsory. They have to work for their puppet masters. Their puppet masters are the top government officials of a lot of Western countries. In some cases, I'm talking about countries like Britain, France, United States of America. In some cases, they try to play game and they play gallery towards the Chinese, just looking for any puppet master that can control them and give them money. That's how it works. Now, the puppet master prefers to have corrupted individuals in the position of power, because when they get into power, then and they have some sort of compromise on these people that have power, then they have access to whatever resources that they need. I'm talking about the Western powerful countries, their governments, they have access to what they need in Africa. And if you haven't educated yourself enough to understand that the world, the entire world, highly relies on the resources of Africa, I recommend you go do that. But yes, this is what Edo State looks like in 2024 after having, they once had PDP, the same thing, ended up in poverty and pain and suffering, bad roads, lack of hospitals, lack of good schools, nothing, absolute mess. And just so you know, Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. It contributes to a pool of at least 60% of the individuals on planet Earth that are living in extreme levels of poverty. Talking about Nigeria, India, and Congo. Nigeria is number one on the list. Edo State is one of the sub-regions in Nigeria that contributes to that pool of the poverty capital of the world that Nigeria represents. These are facts. I understand some people get emotional, they get angry because we're talking about these things, but we need to start talking about these things so that we can maybe become more realistic with ourselves. So yes, in 2024, Edo looks like absolute garbage. Somehow, some way, the people were convinced to go out there and vote again in another fake electoral system controlled by Yakubu. Yakubu was the same INEC chairman. INEC means the Independent National Electoral Commission, an institution that is supposed to be independent, but it's not because the INEC works for the APC. That's how it works. If PDP was in power, INEC will be working for PDP. That's how Nigeria works. There is absolutely no independent institution. They are all corrupt and they work for the ruling party or the people in charge of the country. So here we have the incumbent governor of Edo State. He was trying to advise the people of Edo to go out there and vote. Oh, make sure you continue voting for us, PDP. You know, APC is a criminal organization. Yes, I agree. APC is a criminal organization without a doubt. But at the same time, PDP is also a criminal organization. We're not going to pretend like it's not. But these politicians know how to convince the people that we are not the criminals. The other guys are the criminals. So make sure you select us and don't vote for the other guys. Let's listen to what this joker has to say.
Exercise which came to a climax yesterday. The attractive thing about democracy is the power it bestows on the people to choose who.
That's a lie. Okay, that's lie number one. You see, it's so difficult to analyze these videos, or rather, it's so easy because there are so many lies that these politicians tell. If the power of the people, according to this governor, if the people truly had the power to select their leaders, there is no way they would have selected a drug dealer to become the president. It's absolutely impossible. I understand a lot of people are uneducated and are wicked, and they would rather have a murderer become their leader, which becomes detrimental to everybody. I clearly get that. But at the same time, with the level of campaign that took place in 2022/2023, there was no way that people would have been as foolish as it appeared that they were to select a senile drug baron as their president. It's impossible. Secondly, in Edo State, it's absolutely impossible for the people to have selected their leaders when a compromised Yakubu was in control of the Independent National Electoral Commission. In a sane society, Yakubu would have been investigated. He would have ended up in prison. His assets would have been confiscated. And the elections would probably have had to have been rerun. But if it's Nigeria, Nigeria is an opposite place. Everything that you can imagine happens in a sane society. The opposite is the status quo in Nigeria.
Who governs them. Therefore, when this power is blatantly seized from the people, it is not just a tragedy, but a travesty of democracy. Regrettably, the outcome of the September 21st governorship election appears to have daunted the spirit of many Edo people who feel powerless in the face of the brute force of the institutions that are supposed to protect them.
Now, Mr. Governor, let's pretend like you truly care about the Edo people because in real life, he has already proven that he doesn't care about the Edo people. And this guy coming in, Michael Okpebholo of APC, he also doesn't give a damn about the people, just so you know. Because I know for some people, it's so difficult for them to comprehend you criticizing one party and criticizing the other party. They expect you to either criticize the PDP and sideline with the APC or the other way around. In my own case, I'm telling you guys the truth. PDP, APC, LP, Any one of these political parties, they are going to inflict more damage, more destruction, more poverty, and more hopelessness on the lives of the people. Point blank, period. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Keep on experimenting with your lives. Keep on keeping your hope alive, expecting that, oh, no, we just need good leaders. It's good leaders that we need. It's more than good leaders to save Nigeria at this point. Institutions are completely dead, all compromised. It's not good leadership that would fix the institutions, because if you have a good leader with good intentions that tries to fix the institutions, there are going to be other people that are also powerful that will reverse whatever you fixed. So Nigeria itself as an entity is the problem. But let's let Mr. Obaseki finish the gibberish he's about to say, the lies he's about to say.
It is therefore understandable that many people feel sad and aggrieved. But in the midst of this despair, I'm urging all my fellow Edo citizens to maintain calm and not resort to violence and the destruction of property.
What property are they destroying? Did you guys see the videos and the photos that I showed you earlier of what Edo State looks like? Don't those properties already look like they are destroyed? Let me find those photos quickly for you, show you once again. Don't Does Edo State not already look like it's destroyed? Just based on, just look at this. What else are they going to destroy? What else are they supposed to destroy? You're telling the people, oh, stay calm, don't destroy properties. If 80% of Edo State looks like this, okay, if 80% of Edo State already looks like this, then what else are we trying to destroy? If this is what a school looks like in 2024, what else is left to be destroyed? What else? Let's be realistic, man. These are roads. Look at roads. These are supposed to be people commuting to work. These are the roads that they ply on. Even the governor, that guy that was just giving a useless speech, he plies on these types of roads on a day-to-day basis. There are videos of him online, stuck in traffic, full of mud. Once rain falls, the entire place looks like a mess because there are no good roads. There is no drainage infrastructure. There is absolutely nothing. Why are there no good roads and drainage infrastructure? It's not rocket science in 2024. Because they stole the money. The politicians are the wealthiest people in the country. They steal the money that is meant to be used to build infrastructure. They put it in their bank accounts and they try to raise powerful people. And that's exactly what happened in the Edo elections. This guy is also a beneficiary. Obaseki is actually a hypocrite. Now you think about it. Obaseki and Monday Okpebholo, the guy that just came in, that just won, quote unquote, won the elections, they are both beneficiaries of a system that creates powerful people and destroys every single institution. So there is no check and balancing. As far as you become a powerful person, you are above the law. And that's why his feelings are hurt. Obaseki is only pained because he is no longer going to have access to the resources of Edo. It's now going to APC, another criminal organization, just like the PDP. And he is mad at Obaseki doesn't give a damn about Edo State. If he really did give a damn about Edo State, your roads are not supposed to be that horrible. The children shouldn't have been going to schools that look like that. But let me pause and listen to this clown.
In spite of this provocation, peace and justice will always win at the end. And this is my prescription to all the good people of Edo State who feel vexed and violated at this time. Clearly, it is obvious to the least discerning the amount of impunity and reckless disregard for processes and law that was displayed in this gubernatorial election. In a democracy, there are always safeguards for addressing grievances, and we hope that all those affected will seek resolution for this blatant disregard of law and process.
Okay, we've heard you, Mr. Governor. Basically, he's telling you that, hey, people, yes, we lost the elections. We PDP lost the elections. Don't be offended. I know you're angry because there was some rigging going on. Let's follow the due process in a democracy. Are we going to pretend in 2024 that Nigeria is practicing democracy? Is that what are we still going to be pretending? So the mere fact that this guy keeps saying, "Oh, in this democracy," that lets you know that he is very, very insincere. Point blank. Period. Click on the like button, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. Yes, I have someone here, Iyere Jeshorobo. He says, "Guy, stop saying that you don't know." Iyere, don't cry to me, bro. Cry to APC. Cry to PDP. Because I get it. I know a lot of you guys you just don't know where to channel your energy. You would rather come and be upset with your fellow victim of a country that destroys lives of everybody. You would rather be upset with me than to be upset with Yakubu that rigged your elections and is going to continue the perpetual suffering that you're going through. I get it. I completely understand you don't have the capacity to differentiate where to channel your energy. Okay. But I recommend you go, fix that situation. Look for someone else to channel your energy to. Don't bring that to me, bro. Now, these are the guys here campaigning APC. Look, this guy is Shetima, the vice president of Nigeria, a Boko Haram supporter, a Boko Haram apologist. We had Kabiru Sokoto. Okay, Kabiru Sokoto was shielded by Shetima in his lodge in Abuja after Kabiru Sokoto was involved in the Christmas Day bombing in Abuja many, many years ago. This guy was a wanted Boko Haram criminal terrorist, and eventually he was protected, given some sort of government immunity by Shetima. Okay, now Shetima is the vice president of Nigeria. To the right of some individual, some APC clown waiting for his opportunity. Maybe the deputy governor, I guess. This guy is probably going to be the deputy governor of Edo State under Michael Okpebholo. This is Okpebholo here. You see, this other guy here, this guy, Ganduje. Ganduje was literally, listen, just go on Google, type in Ganduje bribery video. This guy was the former governor of Kano State. He is now a top official in the APC, maybe the national chairman, whatever. Okay. A criminal with evidences all over social media. Instead of him to be investigated and maybe thrown in jail or whatever, this guy was elevated in his political status and has much more powers. And he's campaigning, a thief is campaigning to the people of Edo State. Hey, people of Edo State, vote this guy. I am vouching for this. Can you imagine a thief vouching for? How can a thief be vouching for an individual and telling you to vote? A thief and a terrorist. Look, a thief, a terrorist, they are vouching for you to vote this guy. And you actually believe something good is going to come out of it. Well, I'll leave you to your future. This guy here is the former governor Oshomole, former governor, a thief, stole billions and billions and billions, extremely corrupt. He is currently celebrating because with the emergence of Michael Okpebholo as the governor, what's going to happen is Oshomole would have, look at people, man. How did APC get this crowd with all the destruction they've done? It's magical. It's insane. Anyways, Oshomole is happy that his stooge is now going to be the governor, or rather his political son. That's how they say it in Nigeria. Oh, he's my political son. Oh, it's my political son. And then the Michael Okpebholo will be like, oh, Oshiomhole is my political father. The Nigerian political system is completely ridiculous. It's a mess. It's a mess that breeds nothing but powerful men, weak institution, and a poverty-stricken mass, and people that are completely hopeless and have nothing to benefit from the system. That's what Nigeria offers. So to all the people that are expecting anything good to come out from Ekpebelo, good luck to you. Look at them campaigning, smiling, knowing that, boy, if I get into this position, I'm going to make so much money. And people need to understand that the more you go out there to participate in these fake electoral processes, first of all, you should be aware that the chairman of the INEC is Yakubu, the same guy that brought in the calamity that has destroyed Nigeria currently, the same guy that makes it that you have to buy fuel for 1,200 naira per liter. That same guy is the one still in charge of INEC, and you went out there and you participated. The least you could have done is to have boycotted the elections. Boycott it. Don't be a part of it. The more you attend, you participate in elections, the more voice, the more power you're giving to the politicians. You are basically putting a stamp on the system, because now they're going to conduct a sham election like they did in Edo. A criminal is going to emerge as the victor. And if you want to cry about, no, no, these guys are so wicked, life is so hard, we don't have electricity, we don't have good schools, by the time you're crying, just know that you already solidified that mess because you participated in an election. Assuming you completely boycotted the elections, then you would have some voice to say, we didn't select these people in. So this pain and suffering they are delivering to us, we did not bring that on ourselves. But at the same time, being a realistic person, I know I completely understand that it's impossible to have millions, 200 million people or whatever being on the same page and everybody boycotting an election. There are still going to be millions of people that will come out there and vote. And that's why it's kind of difficult moving around within a human society, because it's just human beings, you know. Now, here we have one of the governorship candidates.
That by stop,
I don't know.
APC had the temerity to even suggest that Senator Oshomole should go and stand in for the candidate that by themselves they selected. We not send a message. Our house not there inside. They do primaries. Bring a candidate. Now you want to speak on his behalf. You not see as they don't see us finish. For them to even have the gall to even suggest that he will stand in as a surrogate to speak on behalf of the one who cannot speak.
Basically, this guy is saying that, you see, that Michael Okpebholo, right? A lot of people view him as very, very dumb, like someone that doesn't have the ability to explain himself. He's not eloquent. It's not about being good in speaking English language or whatever, even if it's broken English that you can communicate in the people with, and you can properly articulate what your plans are for the betterment of their lives and their environment. That would have been great. But you see, Michael Okpebholo is considered as an extremely slow guy mentally. The guy is literally retarded, right? So this guy on the screen, was the governorship candidate for LP, Labour Party, which, by the way, it's another joke of an organization, if you ask me. But I understand a lot of you guys are obedient. You're going to disagree. That's on you. It's a joke of an organization. But he said the truth here. He said Oshiomhole was about to represent Okpebholo in the debate for the elections. Keep in mind that Oshiomhole was highly, highly responsible, or rather instrumental, in the emergence of Okpebholo as the APC governorship candidate in the primaries. So for Oshiomhole to still come out there and represent him in a debate that he's supposed to have a dialogue with other candidates to explain what he has in plans for Edo State, that just shows you that Oshiomhole is highly, highly invested in having Okpebholo become the governor. And once Okpebholo gets into the position of governorship, his primary responsibility becomes number one, Oshiomhole. Okay, that's number one. Number one is Oshiomhole, not the people of Edo State. Okay, the people of Edo State, you can forget about anybody coming to your rescue. Okpebholo is coming to rescue himself and Oshiomhole first and foremost. Number two, Okpebholo has to play the ball of the national APC agenda, which is to subjugate, impoverish, and destroy the lives of the people. And Okpebholo is, trust me, is going to do that. And I understand some of you are still in the mindset of, but why would you say that? Why would you say that? The government is trying. They are trying. What? May God help them. May God help the government. Pray for us. That's what some of you are going to be saying. And I get it. It's because the Nigerian mindset has been completely bamboozled with all types of weird imaginations. You look at the trajectory since the creation of Nigeria in 1900. Between 1900 and 2024, 124 years of a consistent degradation of the society on a consistent level. If we're going to plot a graph that showcases how Nigeria has been performing, how beneficial Nigeria has been for its people, I bet you it's been on a downward trajectory for 124 years, non-stop. So if for 124 years, because some of you guys will just be like, oh, Nigeria was so good in 2014. Oh, Nigeria was so good in 2002. Yeah, that's because in 2002, the level of goodness in Nigeria compared to 2014 was way better. And the same thing can be said if you keep on deducting the years to previous years. It's pretty much like every single decade that passes, Nigeria gets worse. And it's probably one of the few countries of the world that undergoes these dynamics, because most other countries experience some growth, some development, maybe some, some stagnant phases. But Nigeria has been on a consistent downhill slope since its creation by the British. It has always been detrimental to the lives of Nigerians and the environment. Just go to the Niger Delta, an absolute environmental mess. Just go around the country, environmental mess. So Nigeria is detrimental not only to the people, but also to the environment. It is, unfortunately. And then you want to come around and say, oh, let's go and vote again in another electoral process and maybe things will change. It's never going to change. Elections will never solve Nigeria's problems. Look, these are the people that you expect to come to your rescue. Look at them. They are celebrating. It's time for them to jubilate. Look at their pot bellies. You can imagine how much money these guys are going to steal. They are going to steal. Look at that. Look at everybody has a pot belly in this video. Look at this guy's belly. Look at this guy. Every last one of them has a huge pot belly because they are greedy. Now they are in power. They've captured another state. Guess who is going to suffer? It's the people. So for those of you guys that are always thinking about, oh, let's go and vote, let's wait for 2027, the same thing is going to happen in 2027. If Nigeria is still standing, hasn't completely collapsed, the same thing is going to happen in 2027. More criminals are going to come into power because the Nigerian electoral system only funnels murderous criminals to be in charge. Let's listen to your boy Adam Oshiomhole, and we're going to wrap up this video in 5 minutes.
In APC, he went to PDP. He went there and destroyed the PDP. Eyes open. When we denied him ticket in APC, he went to PDP. He went there and destroyed the PDP, split it. They now have what I'm sure you know they call legacy PDP. This is his deputy governor. He has left it to join APC. So he's like an old goat whose children has run away, and he's now in the cold. So there's nothing you are going to tell him. He knows that there is no miracle for them to win. And that's why they are resorting to violence here and there. But your TV station, Arise, is not being fair. And I'm going to report to your chairman. Because Arise should maintain his credibility and not swell his hand because whoever the TV host favored is not.
Blah, 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 blah. Bottom line is, we are the ones in power. You guys can't do anything about it. We're going to continue stealing your money. We're going to continue being rich while you guys remain poor. And just so you know, you see Adam Oshiomhole, I went to college in Canada with this guy, son, Stephen Oshiomhole. Stephen Oshiomhole today, he's back in Edo State obviously, the kids of politicians, they only come to this part of the world to, utilize the institutions, the schools and the hospitals, because we don't have good schools and hospitals in Nigeria, obviously. Then they go back with some certificates and become the leaders of the dead institutions in the country. So Stephen Oshomole's son, is definitely out there in Nigeria right now doing his thing. This is a guy that I'm not even going to make disparaging comments about him, but he wasn't the sharpest tool in the toolbox. Let me put it that way. So yes, his daddy has told you once again that yes, we've won Edo and there's nothing you can do about it. I put some links in the comment section if you're in the mood to argue, because I know some of you get very, very angry. Who is this guy? What are you talking about? You're not even from Edo State. You have no right to talk about Edo. Click on the link. Let's have a conversation. And I'll leave in 5 minutes if nobody clicks the link. That's your boy, Obaseki, with his security guards. They are supposed to be the police for everybody, but they are the security guards of the so-called elites, like the governors, in an absolutely trashy environment. Just look at the environment. Just look at the walls. Look at the walls. Look at this environment. You can tell that these guys are so greedy. These politicians, they would steal all the money, make sure that everywhere looks like a mess, but their own private residences, their bank accounts look great. That's what they do all the time. That's what they do all the damn time.
APC! 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 Please, at this point, the chairman of the appeal, conference appeal, will say something to us in case there's a dissenting point. I want to thank the members of our great party. I want to thank the leadership of our great party. I want to thank more especially the ESCO of our great party in Edo State. State Working Committee for working tirelessly. It's a very long journey, but we have come to this point. Thank you, all of you, because this mandate, I will not disappoint you. It's a mandate of transformation, taking Edo out of evil to good. Development, I assure you, and I believe the government of coming up 2024 is going to be a new dawn for Edo people. Thank you, all of you. We meet as we come.
My man here, Shalom Okanezi, he says, congratulations, my governor. Oh my God. If only anybody can ask Shalom what he what do you think Okpebholo is going to do to improve your life if he's emerging from such an organization like PDP, APC? They're both the same, so it doesn't really matter. What will Michael Okpebholo do for Mr. Shalom Okanezi? Mr. Shalom says, congratulations. I bet you, Shalom, I bet you, my good brother, maybe not, in the next couple of years, right? After Okpebholo has been the governor of Edo State will still remain trash. 1000%. The people are still going to remain in perpetual poverty. The school kids are still going to not have a proper place to school. The environment is still going to look like this. And there is nothing you can do about it. Shalom. After a couple of years, Edo State is still not going to have roads with the emergence of Monday Okpebholo. And don't get it twisted, even if PDP's candidate had emerged victorious, it's the same thing. You go nowhere. The roads are still going to be like this. Okay. Your schools are still going to be like this. I'm not talking about the schools because some of you just don't know how to separate things. You would rather lie to yourselves. And I get it. It's human psychology. After all, people go to buy cigarette packs. On the cigarette pack, it says smokers are liable to die young. But people still smoke every day because it's human psychology. They've created a barrier that allows them deny the truth. So Shalom or Kanezi, right? Edo State schools are still going to be like this. Yes, you might have some schools that are not like this because they are in the government preferred area, maybe in some private estates or, some places that the government actually focused on. But the vast majority of the schools are still going to be like this. The vast majority of Edo people are still going to be poverty stricken, and there's still not going to be electricity. And whenever it rains, it's going to be like this in Edo State in 4 years' time after Monday Okpebholo. And there is nothing you can do about it. So you can congratulate him all you like, but just know that whenever you congratulate people like this or institutions, whenever you congratulate an injustice like this to continue, then you should clap for yourself for contributing to the destruction of your society. So that is it for the African Wahala. Thank you for joining me today. We have to come back and talk about the Edo elections. Smash the like button, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, share the content if you like these types of conversations. I often avoid talking about Nigerian politics, to be honest. I would rather talk about other African countries, but it is what it is. We still have to talk about Nigeria. So click on the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. Peace.